we have gotten more detail on the next gen car in NASCAR, and we are here to talk about that today. But first, this weekend, I got some open time. Saturday, I'm looking to do a live stream just to talk, answer some questions, whatever it may be. So I'm going to be looking out for that Saturday. That will be happening sometime afternoon. I don't know what time yet, but just keep your eye out. I should have a time decided by Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. I'll announce it on Twitter. But a live stream. Get ready for that. We haven't done one of those in a while. And it's just going to be a live stream. But on to the next gen car. So, first picture we got here. We got a picture of the engine. I'm not an engine expert, but if you are, here's a picture of it. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. I don't know what this means. I don't know what it is, but there you go. There's a nice picture of the hood up with the engine. So tell me how you feel about that in the comments. If it's good, bad, neutral, however the engine looks to you, tell me. But on to some of the statements from driver William Byron and crew chief Chad Knaus. Obviously, William Byron, a young driver in the Cup Series, they were testing with Austin Dillon, Joey Logano, Eric Jones, William Byron. So really younger drivers are testing this car because they are the future of NASCAR. They're going to be driving down the road when this car gets a few years under its belt. They're going to be driving as this car develops, as it goes on. So they want some of these younger guys to drive these cars in these tests to determine what they use, what they do, how the car feels to these drivers, rather than doing someone like a Jimmy Johnson, who else is an older driver? I don't know. Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick. They don't want those guys testing it because, Jimmy's retiring after this year. Kurt and Kevin Harvick don't have that many years left. So they want some of these younger guys who will be driving this car for a while. They want those guys to be driving the car. That's my guess, at least. That's not what they stated, but that's why I would guess they are choosing these younger guys to test. But Chad Knaus, obviously 7-time champion crew chief, also got to be a part of this because he's now the crew chief of William Byron. But here are some of the quotes from today. William Byron on his expectations coming into the test. I was definitely excited about the opportunity to test this car and see how it drives. Auto Club Speedway is a really great track to test, especially since we just raced here. I talked to Eric Jones beforehand, and he mentioned a few things about how it drove, how the steering was different, things like that. Byron on his impressions of the car. I was really curious to see what would be different on this car. Our current car has kind of been maxed out in terms of what we can do with it. It's going to take some time to learn this car, so we have to be patient and see how things go. We're just trying to learn as much as we can right now during this test. I've been happy with it, especially as we've been adjusting it more and tailoring it to this track. This is the biggest track it's been on so far. As soon as it started to go for us, I thought the steering felt better and the car felt more stable. It's been fun the more laps I've been able to run. William Byron on adjusting to the new car. It was tough to get a hold of at first, just how fast everything is. The tire doesn't have the same sidewall, so there's not the same amount of slip that you can just hang the car out. You just have to get used to that timing and rhythm of when the car does step out, how quickly can you catch it when it slides the front tires, how quickly does it come back. All those things are a lot different from what we do now. It takes some adjustment to learn that. On what he liked most about the car, the sequential shifting was really cool. I've done that before when I started racing, but I haven't had it since. I think it will be better for us on restarts to focus on moves and not have to worry so much about shifting. And on road courses, you're going to be able to be a lot more aggressive, and your downshifts, that's going to be a lot of fun. William Byron on the incident coming off of turn 2. If you did not see, William Byron spun out during the test. He did not crash it, but he did indeed spin out. There's a picture showing over here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, he spun out. We're probably 6 or 7 laps into a 25-lap tire run. I'd been a little free for a couple of corners, but nothing major. That time I just got loose and figured I'd be able to save it, but wasn't able to. It just came all the way around. I had a number of similar moments in the race Sunday and was able to drive out of it. That's what caught me off guard the most. It's part of testing, though. Learning where the line is with what the car can do. Chad Knaus. We're on to Chad Knaus, 7-time champion crew chief. He gives his general impression of the car. I like the car. I think it's really cool. It's definitely taking a step in the right direction in terms of modern motorsports, so I think that's great. We have a lot to learn as an industry about what this car is capable of. I want to acknowledge RCR and NASCAR. They did a fantastic job in getting this car built to get it out here. I thought it was spectacular. So Chad Knaus gives it two thumbs up, it looks like. Knaus on the differences compared with the current car. It's significantly different. You can liken it to the difference between working on a modern day street car and working on a street car from the 70s or 80s. There's just a major difference in the type of stuff you can work on. The components are smaller and more nimble, and it's a lot more compact in the packaging of the car. What and when we can change things is going to be significantly different. What you would change at the track might change from what we're doing now. You're going to have different knobs to turn. The thing that's exciting about it is it's a brand new entity, so we're always going to be learning new things about it and finding out what matters the most. It's still a race car, and we're still going to be able to work on it. Now we're moving on to John Probst. He is the Senior Vice President of Racing Innovation for NASCAR, and we've seen some quotes from him the past few days. This is a brand new car. We didn't take any parts off the car we had at Richmond, Phoenix, or Homestead. Our goal was to take all the feedback we received from the first 3 tests and implement that into what we consider our pre-production prototype. This is what we intend to race in 2021. What you see here today is a result of all the testing and input we've received. Now here's what he says in the new P3 prototype. This was mentioned yesterday in my video. It's like the 3rd prototype they've used, I believe, and this is like their 99% complete car or whatever. We took a lot of input from the engineers and mechanics that have worked on the car. There are a lot of changes on here that are more comfortable for the mechanics when they make changes. The top of the front clip is a lot wider. A lot of the feedback from the engine tuners from the early chassis is that it was difficult to get the valve covers off. We did some stuff in the rear clip to accommodate getting rear bars in and out easier. The move to the new wheel and hub necessitated, words are difficult sometimes, some new uprights to be built. Those are really the highlights of what's different here. Now here's what he said on getting the new car built for the test. Most of the challenges were leading up to the test. We had a lot of parts coming in from different places because we took the maximum amount of time we could to design the car. We left little time to manufacture and deliver the parts, so we cut it close on getting everything ready. Hats off to the RCR guys. They worked nonstop to get this car ready to go. What you see here now is a result of their hard work. On the incident, coming out of turn 2, as you saw earlier with William Byron spinning. This is exactly why we test. We were able to put almost 300 miles on the car the past 2 days and captured some valuable data. Because of the nature of a test, we have a lot more data available than during a normal race weekend, including the IDR, which is Incident Data Recorder, and high-speed camera. We'll take the car back to North Carolina and evaluate it. This gives us a good opportunity to make sure the car holds up as expected during an incident. We'll review everything available to us and move forward. That is all the quotes I have from today from Knaus, Probst, and Byron. So obviously from a driving standpoint, there's a lot of differences with how it drives. There's a lot of differences with how it handles, how it takes certain things. From a crew chief standpoint, obviously we got the new pit stops. That's pretty self-explanatory. But the adjustments you can make, Knaus was basically saying, hey, you can still adjust it. It's still a car. There are differences, but it's still a car that we can make adjustments to. And then Props basically saying, RCR, good job. But some big differences coming up in the next few years with the race cars. It'll be interesting to see when we can get some more on track, when we can get multiple on track, see how they race against each other, see how they just react to certain things. Incidents, obviously, that spin is going to be a huge help. But I'm not saying I want them to wreck in a test, but, if there is a crash in the test, how does the car react to that? How does the impact results that kind of things. How does the car hold up? How does the inside of the car hold up? How does the driver do? All that kind of stuff. Just from a safety standpoint, you got to know that, obviously, with these cars, how safe they are. We've seen multiple incidences. Just a few weeks ago, we saw Ryan Newman get hurt in the Daytona 500. We saw Eric Almirola a few years ago get hurt at Kansas, Denny Hamlin at Auto Club. So injuries have still happened in recent time in NASCAR, and I think they're still trying to prevent that. So from a safety standpoint, they're still looking at things to do there. But from a racing standpoint, it seems like they got their car that they want. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes. They've announced the rest of the test places, but that'd be cool to make it to one. But yeah, that was a good video right there. Good to talk about the next gen car. If you like this video, make sure to leave it a like. And if you want to subscribe for more NASCAR content, what you do, you want to subscribe, click the subscribe button. Do that. And as I said, live stream Saturday, so look out for that. Thanks for watching.